When I was in high school, there was a Miracle Mart grocery store not too far from our school. And we would go there at lunchtime and we would buy stuff for lunch and for snacks and that sort of thing. And one day, as I was leaving the store, the manager stopped me and said, he needs to check my bag. And I didn't have any problem with this, but I mean, everybody's cashing out, doing their thing. And he's like, I need to check your bag. And he says, you people only come in here to steal. And I was like, whoa, 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 all right. Okay, so now I know what this is. And he's saying this loud enough that everybody who's, cashing out, now they're looking, they're trying to see what's going on. And he goes through my bag, finds nothing, leaves the bag there for me to put all of my stuff back in the bag. And I'm angry, I'm embarrassed. Possibly I've just confirmed some stereotypes that maybe some people have. And then I have to collect my things, walk back to school, sit in class, pretend that none of this happened. And for many of us, we go through our life often pretending, because there are so many things that have happened to us that we just can't say to anybody. No one's gonna believe us. So sometimes they say, oh, you guys have a chip on your shoulder. And it's not that there's a chip on our shoulder, it's just we're ready for the next time it happens. Because there always seems to be a next time. I started my own business when I was in high school. And I was going to a meeting with an organization that was very supportive of what I wanted to do. And I was meters away from the door to this organization. And out of nowhere, within seconds, I was surrounded by 6 police cars. And I had no idea what was going on. I was in my own world just walking to this meeting. And they stopped me and they said, there was a robbery at the mall and I fit the description. Now here I am, young teenager, dressed up in a nice shirt, leisurely walking down the street. I have no idea who would rob the mall and be walking leisurely down the street. People that I was coming to meet with started coming out of the organization to come to my defense and were told to get back inside or they would be arrested. So they had me there surrounded by myself. Same scenario. We have to search you, check your bags, all that sort of stuff. So they go through trying to run my information, check my bags, don't find anything, and it goes over the radio. Oh, the person we're looking for is off in some next direction, and they just drop my bag, jump in their cars, and leave. And I'm standing there with the shame, with the embarrassment, with the people who I was going to meet, looking out the blinds, wondering what is going on, what is happening, who is this young man? And I felt like I wanted to burst into tears, but I had to hold it together because we spend a lot of time and energy holding things together. It's part of how we survive in a society that makes it difficult just to be yourself. So when I found out that I was going to become a father, I instantly did not want to have a son. And it pains me to say that because in what should be the most joyous time, I didn't want to have a son who would have to endure the same things that I had to endure. And I know that it isn't easier for Black women, but I've never walked their shoes. I know personally how difficult it has been to walk in my shoes. And I didn't want to have a son who would follow in those footsteps. And it was 4 a.m. when she woke me. And I can still remember the cold sweat on the back of my neck like it was yesterday. 12 years have now passed. And I can still remember the pregnancy test in my hand and how it felt like my heart and my world had stopped simultaneously, and nobody knows this. But at every doctor's visit, as he would perform routine ultrasounds, I would look from the ground to the screen, hoping, praying to God that none of the squiggly lines that I was seeing would confirm this little being as a boy. And I don't feel good about it. But I've lived a long time in skin despised simply for its hue. So every November I go populist, not out of disrespect. I'm just not a fan of Remembrance Day, remembering that there has never been a plane sent to save us. We are the displaced, our bodies and religion stolen. We were given a new prophet as they used us to make profits. Ask Nike what a Black man is worth. For hundreds of years, we have been killed as a form of amusement, gunned down with no fear of repercussions, so don't blame me for not wanting to be burdened by the birth of a Black boy born into a world built on his back, forcing me to teach him how to write and his rights, knowing that even my greatest efforts can't keep him alive when his skin is a threat. So yes, I stood there, staring blankly at a screen, hoping, praying to God that none of the squiggly lines that I was seeing would confirm this little being as a boy. Maybe having a girl would increase my chances of not having a child who'd grow up to be a hashtag trending, because the killing of Black men has been a trend since forever. So we write Black Lives Matter, not to try to inform others, but to try to convince ourselves in a world that is constantly showing us otherwise. And my heart can't help but break for those parents who have had their children snatched from their lives. It was an April afternoon when I found myself pacing around the delivery room, wondering if my prayers would be answered at 3:20. The most precious little girl was presented to me, and I cried uncontrollably for hours, knowing that I had just been blessed. Not because having a girl would make her worth more, but because we live in a world where Black boys will always be worth less. Thank you.